Each week, we dive into a hot topic about video games. This week, we're going to talk about after the PlayStation 5 event has been announced and officially revealed as the future of gaming. We want to talk about what we think the future of gaming should look like. So what are some things so we talked a lot about like things that we would like to see here, but what are some things we would like to not see? Like what would be a detriment for you at this event? I mean, one of them is probably not seeing the console, but yeah, we've talked about that already. But is there anything else that'd be like, okay, I can't believe they did that.
Heating is a concern. I like to see some numbers for heating, but I don't know if they ever shown that actually.
It's so nerdy, awesome.
I know. I have a PC, so like heating is everything. So I mean, I don't know to show that, and I guess I can't really judge them if they do or don't. Or if they do, it'd be awesome. If they don't, I guess can't really be like, that's not what people are there for.
Yeah. Really, they just need to show. It just needs to work.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, PS4 Pro overheats a lot. I've realized now that I've had it for a while.
Yeah,
but I hope they do fix that because that's probably why they haven't shown it yet. Is because they still want to make sure the design is in tip-top shape for it to not have an overheating problem.
Right.
Because it's going to kill them if this console comes out and it has a red ring of death kind of issue like Xbox 360.
That or explodes or melts when you're playing.
Oh, gosh.
You know, that a new UI, which they're definitely going to have, you know, something more streamlined for that. Like, I don't want to see a similar UI. We talked about this before, and it's just like, I like it, but it's not. It needs to be more customizable, for sure.
Completely agree with that. It's funny because like when it first came out, like I liked the concepts they had there because I remember PS3 UI I didn't really care for that much, and then this one comes out. I was like, oh, this is cool. You got boxes, and then when you hover over a box for a game, it's like right below there you see all the social content and updates and stuff for the game. Like that was kind of nice to look at. But then I just get pissed off. Like I was glad when they finally added folders, but even the folders you can't reorganize in your list. And they have all those apps built into it that are on the same level as your games. And I feel like they should separate that. Like one thing that Xbox actually kind of does right, which I can't believe I'm saying that, but they have games and apps separate. So there are two different categories. Mm-hmm. So you can, if you want to go to your games, the games are priority over the apps. And then you go in the apps section, there's like all your TV app, your streaming app, this, that, whatever. So I would like to see them handle that better. There's three things that I'd like to see them upgrade on this from a very just broad perspective. I'd like for settings and store to be one click away from anywhere on the app. So like right now, to get to settings, you have to scroll up and then go all the way to the right to get to your settings button. And then to get to the store, you have to go all the way to the left side of your menu and then, of the list of apps that are there. I would like those to be like up in the upper right corner. So you press a button and that locks you up to that secondary menu. Right. And you can just click between those two. Awesome. That could also be where your profile is. So profile, settings, and store. The other thing is, which they solved a lot of this with the click to hold the PlayStation button that pops up the little mini menu. That was a nice addition. But I still feel like there's a little bit of friction when it comes to joining and inviting friends to parties.
Yes,
like I feel like there's one too many clicks
all the time.
Yeah, there's always a lag, and I feel like there's one too many clicks for that. Like you get an invite from somebody, you click it to open it, and it should just let you click to join the party. But I feel like, I guess it does let you click to join the party, but it feels like it takes longer than it should to get to that point. Like if I'm pressing to accept the invitation, I feel like it should just automatically throw me in that party and not make me click join again. Because if I'm taking the action to do it, it should just take me there. But
yeah, and like when you're searching for games and stuff, like looking through the store and stuff, like I think they have a nice layout, but that's all laggy too, and things take forever to load. And it's just, I think the way it's laid out mostly is okay, but I think it could be way better. They're trying to have their own
videos
style.
Autoplay.
Yeah, it's like, geez, and that makes it lag too. But yeah, just kind of streamlining that stuff. And, this article that you have here by, what is this company?
GameSpot or Games Radar?
Games Radar. They're talking about, is streaming going to be a thing? And, definitely it's going to be there, but to what degree? But making that streamlined where, I like it when you're searching for a game on Steam and, they have someone streaming to Steam. Or I don't know how that pulls up, but, like you can watch someone play that game. I think having features like that just kind of integrate a bunch of things across the board into one seamless transition, it would be nice, you know? Or how about you customize what you want to see on your dashboard? Like, I like watching streams, so, you know, maybe Twitch streams will pop up like in a little section. It's like, here are the top streamers for the day, or here are the people that you like that are streaming right now. Maybe stuff like that for customizing certain things. Just, you know, make it easier for you to do what you want to do as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that would be nice, because if I were to customize my dashboard, I would probably have like my games right at the top, and then I would have games that I might be interested in as like just here's a list of 10 games that have recently released that based on my interest level and gameplay knowledge or my gameplay history and all that stuff, like these are games you might like. And then especially if they're discounted, show them. Have some kind of like wish list discount. I don't know if there's a wish list in PlayStation. Is there in the store?
I don't know. This is how infrequent I actually get on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't get on it. I mean, because they always have like deals and stuff that you can like navigate through, which is pretty nice to see the different deals that are there. But I come to think of it, I don't know if they have a wish list button where you can like mark something to your wish list, which, you know, that was the thing I was bitching about with Epic Game Store for so long. They didn't have that, but they might not have it either. Because that's one thing I like about the Switch is like, if I find a game I like, but I'm not really super into it, I wish list it, and then whenever it's on sale, they email me. So I'm like, I'm instantly going to jump in there and buy that game if it's something I was interested in. Or at that point, I might be like, oh, I'm not really interested in this game anymore. But I like the fact that all I have to do is, same as Steam, you know, you add it to your list, and then they just email you whenever it goes on sale. So I don't have to think about it. It's just, I'll know when it's on discount.
Right.
Which is great for the developers too, because, you know, that's an easy way for them to market their game. They drop a sale and they instantly, if they know that they have people wishlisting that game, they just have reached out to a whole bunch of people without having to do anything to send a mass email. Is there anything that would just like blow your mind? Like just like one thing that if this happened, like this developer came out and said, hey, we got this game, or there's a feature there that you never expected, but that would just like blow it out of the water. Is there anything that you can think of that would exist there?
No, not really. Everything I've really been pumped for is coming out pretty soon.
Well, I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing that won't exist, but it would be cool if it did, is to have the ability to take my PlayStation remote somehow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, yeah, be like a Switch type thing, maybe. Huh?
Yeah, because they like got rid of the Switch, but like I don't know what it would look like. I don't think it needs to be detachable hardware, because again, like what we found with the Switch is that it's awesome, but the biggest downfall with that is that the graphics engine sucks. Like it can only put out so much for graphic quality. And PlayStation, like I want it to be a powerhouse of graphics. And but having some ability to stream or play my games with the PlayStation controller while I'm gone somewhere, even if it's on my phone. I mean, we already can connect our PlayStation controller to Apple Arcade. So if Apple or PlayStation made an app for the Apple phones that allowed you to just play your PlayStation game from your home, which I think there's something like that exists, but I haven't tried it. I feel like it's not super seamless. But if it was something that was just like super easy, but streaming is all I want it to do. I don't really care if it's like, you know, downloaded on my system, because I don't think I want to put a 70 gigabyte game on my iPhone. But if it streamed that content, that would be kind of cool. Just to have that ability if I'm like, man, I'm sitting here at work and I'm on my lunch break and I just want to jump in and just play some more God of War. Like I can do that from my phone real quick.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I mean, they could design a console, because, you know, they had that, if you had a laptop and it wasn't that powerful, you can get like a chassis for a graphics card that was better, and you can run it like that and make like boost your graphics up through that way. I mean, they could make, you know, theoretically a system where you had a switch, you know, you had a switch that you could undock, and then when you dock it, it's using, you know, separate hardware to give it that 4K boost. But that probably cost you a ton of money.
Yeah. I also thought, I was thinking about the PlayStation VR and like what that can look like. And I would love for them to support that further, but I feel like at this point, unless they can make it untethered and still work nicely with that, I don't want to see it. It sucks, because I was really excited about, like, I felt like PlayStation was like, they had like the right idea behind it, like let's leverage the PlayStation 4, and then they did make it simple up until the Oculus Quest came out. and now it's not simple anymore. But now they have this new hardware that's like beastly. They could bring out a PS2, and if it's just like a single cable that connects, and they make better move controllers that actually like make sense, and they don't have a PlayStation, like if they can just make it where you have a headset and a plug and then 2 controllers, and you plug it into the PlayStation through like a single port on the front of the system that doesn't pull out when you like twist your arm or whatever and accidentally tug on it.
Yeah,
like that could be pretty sweet.
I thought the PSVR would actually get way more people into it, and it has. Like, there's a lot more people who got in the VR because of it, and then same with the Index. It sold out, so obviously a lot of people are pumped about it. But at the same time, it's like, how many of those people who bought the Index are pre-owners of a VR headset already? I don't think it took off the way I predicted it would. I was hoping it would. I think if they made something lighter, more intuitive controls and stuff, there's always that issue with the camera when you playing with it. I remember you mentioned that sometimes it just kind of, the game jerks around because it's trying to find you in the world.
Yeah, the window tracking was just bad.
Yeah, like fixing that. But I think, come to find out after all these years, VR is still a very luxurious item. You don't just get it and it works and it's amazing. I mean, it does work and it is amazing, but it's not to the fidelity I think people want it to be. And I mean, if they had something small and light, I think that might be more appealing to people for a second iteration. Because the one you have is pretty bulky. It fits well, and it is pretty light, but it's still, it's a lot. It's a lot.
The Quest or the VR? PSVR.
PSVR.
I would love to see them push it further and see where it goes. 'Cause I do think the PSVR headset is the best designed headset aside from the Quest. I mean, because if it felt great on the head, it just was there. I mean, you had 3 cords or 2 cords sticking out of your back that went into the console, so it was just one too many cords at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And the quality wasn't great, and it was fun for a little bit, but it just didn't hit the mark. But
right,
they can cut down the hardware that's required for it and make it easier to plug and play. It could have a lot of potential because Astrobot Rescue Mission was a PlayStation VR exclusive, and still is to this day. And if they could continue to make games like that, I mean, they could do something cool with it and leverage this system and bring the price down too. Because I mean, now you got the Oculus Quest, it's $399 or whatever with everything. That they need to bring it down to $199 at most to make it worthwhile, tethered to your PlayStation 5. A lot of news coming out on the podcast next week, so stay tuned for that. But that's going to wrap it up for our discussion this week. If you guys want to contribute to next week's segment, you can give us a shout at theinnergamer.net and join us on our Discord channel. The link is in the show notes.